It's 7:00 a.m. and Jamie stares at the pile of assignments on her desk, the dreaded math project, a history paper, and a half-read novel for English. She knows tackling that math problem first would make the rest easier, but she keeps reaching for her phone. That classic trap. Brian Tracy calls it eating your frog. But what does that actually mean for you and me, drowning in deadlines? Let's unpack how one tough bite can flip your whole day. Before you dive into work, you've got to pinpoint the real priorities, the giant, ugly frogs lurking in your schedule. It's not just what's urgent, but what's most impactful. Jamie's math project deadline is looming, but her phone is buzzing nonstop. Instead of starting the hardest task, she opens TikTok for just 5 minutes. That 5 stretches into 30. The frog, that math project, doesn't get smaller. It gnaws away at her stress, reminding her that avoidance never makes it go away. Brian Tracy compares the frog to the biggest, ugliest to-do you keep putting off. Imagine your tasks lined up like a buffet. Choosing the frog first is picking the spiciest, most challenging dish head-on before you fill up on snacks. That's the only way to leave feeling accomplished, not bloated with regrets. Once Jamie finally eats that frog, she's energized. The math that once felt like a mountain becomes a molehill, freeing mental space and boosting her confidence. Tackling the hardest thing first clears the fog, procrastination loses its power, and suddenly her entire day feels manageable. You can't just willpower your way through chaos. Planning is your secret weapon, the difference between spinning wheels and moving mountains. Anna, a college junior, faced a 20-page thesis that felt impossible until she broke it into manageable chunks. Research today, outline tomorrow, draft next week. That small-step method transformed her panic into progress, proving mega projects become mini-missions with the right breakdown. Brian Tracy advocates time blocking. Dedicate specific chunks of your day to your frog without distractions. Think of it like booking a VIP concert seat just for your toughest task. That's your commitment signal that says, this time is sacred, no multitasking allowed. Visual reminders like sticky notes or a bright calendar turn plans into real, unavoidable commitments. Just like a buzzing smartwatch forces you to act, these cues nudge your brain to keep the hard task front and center, sparking action every time you glance their way. Starting is often the hardest part, but once you create momentum, productivity snowballs. Here's how to harness that power and keep it rolling. Jamie sets a timer for 5 minutes, just long enough to trick her brain into starting the dreaded math worksheet. Those 5 minutes become 10, then 20. This jumpstart method hacks her resistance to starting, showing that action breeds motivation, not the other way around. Anna learned to celebrate mini wins, like finishing a paragraph or solving a tricky problem. These small victories release dopamine, your brain's reward chemical, turning hard work into a positive feedback loop. Suddenly, studying isn't punishment, it's a series of little triumphs fueling the next push. Brian Tracy reminds us that working without breaks builds tension like steam in a kettle. Regular structured breaks, even just a few minutes of stretching or a short walk, keep your mind fresh and stress at bay. The payoff, you sustain productivity longer without burning out. Remember Jamie at 7 a.m. frozen before her math project. Now imagine her powering through that frog right after waking up, then sailing through the rest of her day. That's the power of urgency wrapped in smart strategy. Try this tomorrow. Before anything else, pick your frog and commit 5 minutes, just 5. That tiny start can flip your whole to-do list from monstrous to manageable. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.